Not everyone wants to see you succeed. Some will even go out of their way to see you fail. Learn to be self-sufficient and realize you are a mortal who will suffer horribly later if you don't become independent and resourceful. Stop worrying about what other people think. Honestly, who gives a shit? Keep to yourself. Stay away from idiot stupidity is contagious. Your friends want you to do good, but not better than them. Rest don't care. Learn how to say fuck it and mean it. Don't say yes to everyone to make them comfortable. Check with yourself too before you commit. Many people don't like you, especially if they see you as a competition. Rule your life with your mind, not with your feelings. Every bad decision we have made in life, there was more emotion in it than there was mind. Every single one. Always listen to your gut. Somehow it knows many things that you wouldn't expect. Know your worth. Never put yourself in the bargain bin, or that's where others will value you. Time truly flies. Be grateful always because it can always be worse. Live like there's no tomorrow and do what you love. Don't get bogged down in regrets. No one is perfect. Don't chase happiness. Just stay positive and you will experience joy. Pay close attention to those who say they love you, because so often they don't. They only use you. Trust in yourself and your first instinct on decisions. Lower your expectations. Having high expectations of yourself and of others is a recipe for chronic dissatisfaction in life. Accept that some folks love to point fingers and blame others. You will be blamed for things you haven't done and for things that haven't even happened yet. Stop complaining, whining, and nagging. It's wasted energy. Who's listening anyway? Realize you cannot control everything or everyone, but you can control yourself, and that's even better. Always move in your own direction, not according to society, friends, or family. Leave the house messy and the yard unmowed for the weekend. You will remember the fun, not the clean house or yard. Make time for fun. Learn to say no. Be frugal. Eat only real food. No wheat and limit carbs. The more you know, the dumber you sound to stupid people. Pay attention to the negative signs that people give off and immediately disconnect from them. It will save you a lot of pain and, more importantly, wasted time. Never take the responsibility that does not belong to you. Never sell out and trust your instincts. Also, most importantly, never take loved ones for granted. Have firm boundaries and be discerning about who you let into your life. If you want to help yourself, find someone worthy to serve. Through service, you gain experience, contacts, and a reputation as a reliable and accountable ally. It is only through an apprenticeship that one becomes a master. Buy real estate, land, anything you can afford. The less possessions you own, the happier and less burden you will have in your life. Life is often very ambiguous. Sometimes there isn't a right or wrong decision or choice. Things are not always completely clear. You may not get the answer, so you just have to wing it. Don't leave someone to teach them a lesson. Leave because you learned yours. Life is far from over, but it's very short too. If you want to do something, don't delay, but don't sacrifice what you want for what you want right now. When in doubt, just take the next small step. Slow down and realize that mistakes are essential to learning anything. Get yourself together before you get any older. The older you are, the harder it is to change. No one cares except family. Start saving you money. Don't spend it on homes you can't afford, fancy cars, and running your credit cards to the max. In the end, you'll be much happier. Nothing is actually as bad as it seems or as great as you think it will be. Take good care of your health. Without health, nothing will matter. No amount of money can bring you joy if you are suffering. Marry before 30, have kids before 35, work and earn actively and sufficiently till and before 40, make passive income workable before 50, plan to retire from work activity before 60, do everything for family but expect nothing from it, not even from spouse. You'll never be sorry for telling someone you love them. Do it before it's too late. Save a little money every week or month. Nothing gives you happiness like a financial buffer, believe it or not. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Not everybody wants to be your friend, and that's okay. You really don't want everybody as a friend anyway. You don't always have to be going, being, and doing. It's really okay to just chill. Give back, even if it's donating your tag sale leftovers or handing a dollar bill over to someone less fortunate. Do it. It'll make you feel good. Everything happens for a reason, always. Do not fear getting hurt. You can't grow if you don't hurt. Don't ruin your health in order to earn money. You will end up spending your money to recover your health, and that is not reciprocal. Be kind to people without allowing them to take advantage of your good nature. Efforts never go in vain. How others see you is not important. How you see yourself means everything. Everything you need will come to you at the perfect time. You came into this huge world alone and will go out of it alone, hence can make any impossible thing possible by yourself only. If you punish the truth, expect to be lied to. You will look back at your life with much more regret for the things that you didn't do than for the things that you did. Things don't make us happy. Experiences do. Keep your mouth shut whenever you're happy. Keep your mouth shut whenever you are sad. Stop comparing yourself with those who started 10 years before you. Focus on your own journey. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. If you waste money, you can earn it again. If you miss the moment, it can never be returned. Live life with opened eyes, ears, and heart. Strong people are always simple. You spend your first 20 years worrying what people think about you. You spend your next 20 years swearing that you don't care what people think about you. You spend the next 20 years realizing that they aren't thinking about you. Never let others know your weaknesses. Instead, always try to show up your positives. Don't tell your friends that you're happy. Don't make them angry. Don't tell your enemies that you're unhappy. Don't make them happy. Time flies. One day you are 30, the next you are 50. Plan now for what you want 50 to look like. Last but not least, you are here for a reason that you may not know. But be patient. You beat 1,000,000,000 odds by being here. Be grateful for the little things in life that others take for granted. The only way to live like a king is to work like a slave. There are two ways to do things, right and again. Better to fight and fall than to live without hope. Whatever is begun in anger ends in shame. The answer is always no until you ask. If a man empties his purse into his head, no one can take it from him. Even in the sheath the sword must be sharp, so too must the mind and the spirit be within the body. A person should not agree today to what he will regret tomorrow. Life gives you lots of chances to screw up, which means you have just as many chances to get it right. People treating you poorly is a reflection on them, not you. Don't make yourself available too much for anyone. You will lose importance. Never ruin an apology with an excuse. Never trust anybody. Trust is earned, not given from the start. You're never too old to cut people out of your life. It takes a long time to realize how truly miserable you are, and even longer to realize it doesn't have to be that way. You may delay, but time will not. If you would know the value of money, go and try to borrow some. Laziness travels so slowly that poverty soon overtakes him. Love your enemies, for they tell you your faults. There are 3 faithful friends, an old wife, an old dog, and ready money. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Just because the boat rocks doesn't mean it's time to jump overboard. You'll have bad times, but it'll always wake you up to the good stuff you weren't paying attention to. When you try to please everybody, you almost always please nobody. Your past does not equal your future. Sometimes you can make all the right choices and then have to sit there and watch them all crumble around you. You just have to pick up the pieces and keep moving. Never be so kind you forget to be clever, and never be so clever you forget to be kind. If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Stop trying to be happy. You can't be happy all the time, and it's okay. If you're trying to break a habit, don't say, "This is the last time I'm doing it," to yourself. Instead, say, "This is the first time I'm not doing it." An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. He that displays too often his wife and his wallet is in danger of having both of them borrowed. We do not stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. Work as if you were to live 1,000 years. Play as if you were to die tomorrow. Contentment makes poor men rich. Discontent makes rich men poor. He that can have patience can have what he will. Having been poor is no shame, but being ashamed of it is. Nothing that life has to offer is worth the price of worry. You stop explaining yourself when you realize people only understand from their level of perception. Someday isn't even a real day, although for some people it's every day. It's never too late to turn your life in a completely new direction, and there is huge importance in just one day. You will never be who you want to be until you are happy with who you are. When you get a different vantage point, it changes your perspective. It allows us to see things that maybe we should have seen a long time ago. That which has a bad beginning is likely to have a bad ending. Too much ale, and a man's heart is laid open for all to see. All the people need in order to rise up against tyranny is a leader bold enough to take up the banner. Never take for granted the time you spend with the people you keep. It could be over any day. Live in reality as it is, not as you wish it was. If you expect the world to be fair with you because you are fair, that's like expecting the lion not to eat you because you didn't eat him. If you're right but you are obnoxious about it, people won't see you as the good guy. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it is a quiet voice at the end of the day saying, "I will try again tomorrow." People often confuse stress with responsibility. The reason you want to be better than someone else is the reason why you aren't. A man must be big enough to admit his mistakes, smart enough to profit from them, and strong enough to correct them. Be the person you needed when you were younger. You will reach your destination even though you travel slowly. The error is the result of letting fear rule your actions. Better to die with honor than live with shame. Accept things as they are. Life isn't about living in the past or living for the future. It's about living in the now. Enjoy every bit of your life to the fullest. Your compromises and sacrifices will be rewarded. Never keep people in your life if they don't love and respect you as much as you do them. Be at war with your vices, at peace with your neighbors, and let every new year find you a better man. Be slow in choosing a friend, slower in changing. When you are finished changing, you're finished. Strive to make small changes and learn something new daily, because there are always these experiences you have had to tap into for the future. Someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality. Not everybody who speaks in a pleasant way to you is your friend. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. You don't ever truly know another person unless you can take up residence in their head. You'll never be privy to their true nature. It is not our abilities that show what we truly are, it is our choices. You will find the key to success under the alarm clock. A penny saved is a penny earned. Fear not death, for the sooner we die, the longer we shall be immortal. Wanting something is not enough. You must hunger for it. Your motivation must be absolutely compelling in order to overcome the obstacles that will invariably come your way. Our lives are defined by opportunities, even the ones we miss. Every person alive hits a crossroads in life when you have to let go of the past and forge ahead into something new. The only sad thing would be clinging to the past once it's out of reach. You've got to know when it's time to turn the page. Forgiving doesn't make the person who hurts you feel better. It makes you feel better. If someone is trying to bring you down, it only means you are above them. You train people how to treat you, unconsciously or not. You are either part of the problem or part of the solution. Never attribute to malice that which can be adequately explained by stupidity. Socializing is just like any skill. You need to practice before you're good at it. Life is brutal and will break your heart, and you just have to be brave and do the best you can. When you're testing to see how deep water is, never use 2 feet. Happiness depends more on the inward disposition of mind than on outward circumstances. If you don't have sex for 17 days, you will become stronger in your self-control. There is more honor in accumulating little by little than in reaching for the sky and ending up flat on your face. Oftentimes it is not numbers that win the victory, but those who fare forward with the most vigor. To forget is the secret of eternal youth. One grows old only through memory. There's much too little forgetting. If you have to keep asking yourself if something is worth it, then maybe it's not. He who wants to hold on to that is losing. Those who are ready to let go with a smile are trying to keep him. If it were easy, everybody would do it. The more primitive a man is, the better he believes himself to be. Life did not intend to make us perfect. Whoever is perfect belongs in a museum. Modesty and conscientiousness receive their reward only in novels. In life, they are exploited and then shoved aside. Don't take criticism from anyone you would not take advice from. Education in knowing things means nothing if you're not willing to put in effort and use what you know. Strive to be the man you want your daughter to marry. If you blame it on someone else, don't expect it to get better. Leave when a promise turns into a sorry. Never tell your boss you're bored. Be alone sometimes. It is important for your mind and well-being. The first person you think of in the morning and the last person you think of at night is either the cause of your happiness or the cause of your pain. Not always sorry for the one who is wrong, asking forgiveness of the one who values the relations. Figure out what you love to do, and then figure out how to get someone to pay you to do it. Don't make decisions when you're angry. Don't make promises when you're happy. We are the average of the people we spend time with. Surround yourself with good people to be a good person. Clean dishes as you cook. Letting go is very hard, but it's the best thing to do. Avoid bad habits. They will become harder to break as you get older. If you try to please everybody, somebody won't like it. Smart girls like to hear they're pretty. Pretty girls like to hear that they're smart. You don't really know the person you're with until you move in together. Never marry anyone without living with them first. If you're not dating to marry, then you're dating for heartbreak. Let that sink in. Be in a serious relationship. A person can become close to you in 3 days, and the one who lives near you for years may never know what your favorite color is. Women do not need to explain anything. You always have to act with them. Being in love is when you want to get old with someone. It's only terrible to have nothing to wait for. It is very clear that the unhappiness of the world is so often brought on by small men. A woman should not tell a man that she loves him. Let her shining, happy eyes speak about this. They are more eloquent than any words. A lonely person cannot be abandoned. Keep things at arm's length. If you let anything come too near, you want to hold on to it, and there is nothing a man can hold on to. We have so much to say, and we shall never say it. Never stop the other person from talking, because the worst thing that could happen to them is you proving them wrong. Think with your big head, not your little one. Don't judge anyone based on the rumors that you have heard about them. Know people by yourself and have your own opinion. Go for someone you perceive to be out of your league. You'll surprise yourself. The clock does not determine when the job is done. Keep your eyes and ears open and your mouth shut. Observe for all the information. Potential means you haven't done anything yet. Life can take a loved one at any time, so cherish those you love. Make time for family and friends and tell people you love them often. People have to do a lot of stupid shit to figure out what they really want. It is better to die when you want to live than to live before you want to die. What you can get always seems better than what you have. This includes the romance and idiocy of human life. Strange how complicated we can make things just to avoid showing what we feel. Anything you can settle with money is cheap. The best way to lose a woman is to show her a kind of life that one could offer her for only a few days. A man only begins to be valued when he is no longer there. Whatever happens to you, never take it personally. Nothing in this world is so important. I stood next to her, listened to her, laughed, and thought how terrible it is to love a woman and be poor. It is a mistake to assume that all people have the same ability to feel. Don't try to fit in where you're not wanted. There's no quick and easy way to achieve or attain something valuable and hard-earned. Anyone else who tells you otherwise is trying to sell you something. Save money as soon as you get paid, and not what's left. It was a melancholy secret that reality can arouse desires but never satisfy them. If a woman saves money on herself, it means that it makes men want to save money on her. Our knowledge of life is limited to death. What comfort there is in the skin of someone you love. Good or ill, life is life. You only realize that when you have to risk it. A friend standing behind is worse than an enemy standing in front. Nothing changes if nothing changes. The most important thing you can learn is personal responsibility. Bad things happen. It's your job to overcome them. Cooking and cleaning are basic life skills and not a gender role. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. Don't borrow anything you can't afford to replace. Trust is built over the life of a relationship, but can be lost in an instant if you're not careful. Everyone saves someone at least once, just as he kills someone at least once, even though he may not know it. A woman becomes smarter when she is in love, whereas a man loses his mind. The things men did or felt they had to do. Love should not be polluted with friendship. If you're interested in a girl, see what her mother looks like. That's how she will turn out after marriage. Brush your teeth before you put on your tie. No job is beneath one's dignity. Do not judge a person by their words. Judge them by their actions. A woman who lacks sex begins to talk more about sex. Who lacks sex speaks about sex. Hungry talks about food. A person who has no money about money, and our oligarchs and bankers talk about morality. Always go out into public dressed like you're about to meet the love of your life. Don't let emotions affect your life, no matter if those emotions are your own or someone else's. Don't read a quote and say, "This is wise," but read a quote and say, "How can I relate this to my life?" There are times when you see someone for the last time and don't even realize it. Watch out. You'll never know the true value of the moment until it becomes a memory. Never expect too high. The more you expect when it doesn't meet your expectation, the more it's going to hurt. It is indeed very hard to move on, but once you do, you'll realize it was your best decision. Never make a promise you can't keep. Stop letting other people take advantage of you. Learn to say no and understand your rights. You might regret your speech, but you'll never regret your silence. Learn to let go, even if you are right. Life is a boxing game. Defeat is not declared when you fall down. It is declared when you refuse to get up. Breathe. It's just a bad day, not a bad life. Things will get better. Just wait. You will be disappointed and heartbroken multiple times, but it's how you respond that matters. Don't let anyone ever make you feel like you don't deserve what you want. No relationship is worth damaging your mental health. Depend on yourself, never on others. Being too nice breaks you. You've got to do what's right for you, even if it hurts some people you love. The days that break you are the days that make you. Time never waits. It only urges you to catch up or get left behind. Trust yourself. You've survived a lot, and you'll survive whatever is coming. You grow mentally weak when your life is too comfortable. Sometimes loneliness is the price you pay for growth. Embrace every opportunity, for regrets come from the chances we didn't take. If you can dream it, you can do it. You are who you are. Nobody's approval is needed. Learn from what people do, not from what they tell you. Expect nothing, and you will never get disappointed. Stop telling people more than they need to know. You meet every single person for a reason. Find something you love, something you can lean on to, something that would keep you going. You need something to fall back on when you get depressed. Nothing is complicated, not as much as you assume. It's just your mind playing tricks with you. If you get down to it, it's all really simple and clear. Saying no is important. People don't get offended as much as you think. Never awaken a woman's love with no intention of loving her. When talking to people, look them in the eye and on the face. This will make you more confident in front of others. Time is your most valuable resource. There are no refunds or second chances for the time you waste. In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. Be impatient with actions, but patient with results. Remember 5 years ago, you dreamed about being where you are now. Think about it. Not everybody wants to be your friend, and that's okay. You really don't want everybody as a friend anyway. Give back, even if it's donating your tag sale leftovers or handing a dollar bill over to someone less fortunate. Do it. It'll make you feel good. Everything happens for a reason, always. You will look back at your life with much more regret for the things that you didn't do than for the things that you did. Things don't make us happy, experiences do. Do not fear getting hurt. You can't grow if you don't hurt. Don't ruin your health to earn money. You will end up spending your money to recover your health, and that is not reciprocal. Be kind to people without allowing them to take advantage of your good nature. You came into this huge world alone and will go out of it alone. Hence, you can make any impossible thing possible by yourself only. If you punish the truth, expect to be lied to. Efforts never go in vain. How others see you is not important. How you see yourself means everything. The only way to live like a king is to work like a slave. Just let it be. If it's meant to be, it will happen. Your past was never a mistake if you learned from it. Once you feel free, someone avoids you, never disturb them again. Perceive failure as a vulnerable teacher and a stepping stone to success. Celebrate small victories and milestones because they pave the way for bigger achievements. Whoever brings you the most peace should get the most time. Some things are meant to cross your way but are not meant to stay. Your direction is more important than your speed. Never fall in love with the same person twice, because the second time you fall in love with the memories, not the person. You need to stop the habit of doubting yourself. You can tell more about a person by what he says about others than you can by what others say about him. Your heart will tell you where to go. Your head will guide you there safely. Use one without the other, and you'll get lost. Never be afraid to treat people the way they treat you. Just be real. It saves everyone's time. Never think twice about investments in yourself. They pay dividends for a long time. Life will only come around once, so do whatever makes you happy. You can't do big things if you are distracted by small things. If you're not happy with yourself, you'll never be happy in a relationship. Being lonely and being alone are different things. Overthinking ruins you. It ruins the situation, twists things around, makes you worry about futile questions, and makes everything much worse than it actually is. Just trust your instincts. Gut feelings can sometimes save you from big troubles. You don't get extra marks for putting up with people you dislike. Life is unfair. Don't moan, don't complain. Learn to be thick-skinned. Make the most of what you can. Most people are a complete waste of time. A lesson never ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know. Don't let people know too much about you. You don't have to be great to start, but to become great, you just have to start. The moment poverty walks in through the door, love and peace toss themselves out of the window. Keep your mouth shut whenever you are happy. Keep your mouth shut whenever you are sad. Stop comparing yourself with those who started 10 years before you. Focus on your own journey. You can go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Don't be emotionally attached to anyone. People change. Even your best friends may probably turn into strangers one day. No one cares except you. Do what lifts you up in your eyes. What people say does not matter. If you waste money, you can earn it again. If you miss the moment, it can never be returned. Live life with open eyes, ears, and heart. Strong people are always simple. You spend your first 20 years worrying about what people think about you, your next 20 years swearing that you don't care what people think about you, and the next 20 years realizing that they aren't thinking about you. Think before you act. You can take a second to do something you haven't properly considered that isn't a true reflection of your character, and it can undo a lifetime of kindness and generosity. Life gives you lemons, pepper, salt, and sometimes cold water, but they don't come together or in a certain order, so keep struggling until the lemonade is ready. If you can do it now, you won't do it ever. Never let others know your weaknesses. Instead, always try to show up your positives. Don't tell your friends that you're happy, don't make them angry. Don't tell your enemies that you're unhappy, don't make them happy. Time flies. One day you are 30, the next you are 50. Plan now for what you want 50 to look like. Regretting won't change your past, and it will end up your future if you continue to do that. Don't make hopes. Hopes will create expectation, and expectation makes you weaker. A man who stays long during sex will always prioritize the pleasure and satisfaction of his partner, fostering a deeper connection and creating a more fulfilling and intimate experience for both individuals involved. Passion is super awesome, but it doesn't cure all your problems. Passion can go a long way in your life, but it doesn't mean it's all unicorns and rainbows. You are not unique. There will always be someone else equally attractive, fun, and qualified to replace you. Don't tell your problems to everyone. 80% don't care, and the other 20% are glad you have them. Stop looking for the good in people. Start instead looking for good people. You have to do what is right for you. No one else is walking in your shoes. The more thankful you are, the more you attract things to be thankful for. Never let a bad day make you feel like you have a bad life. Every second you spend comparing your life to someone else's is a second spent wasting yours. You can lie down for people to walk on you, and they will still complain that you are not flat enough. When thinking about life, remember this: no amount of guilt can change the past, and no amount of anxiety can change the future. Every person in your life is a teacher. Some bring lessons about love and support, others teach you what to avoid. You see a person's true colors when you are no longer beneficial to their life. Don't get married because you think it's something you have to do. You don't have as much time as you think. Tell those people you love that you love them, and say it often. If you've never questioned whether or not you made the right decision, you haven't taken big enough risks. Not everyone is down for you like they say they are. Never trust what someone says, watch what they do. You can't love somebody enough to make them love you back. Be careful with your words. Once they are said, they can be only forgiven, not forgotten. Don't let someone who did you wrong make you think there's something wrong with you. Don't devalue yourself because they didn't value you. Know your worth even if they don't. If you're willing to sacrifice what you want most for what you want now, then your future will always be filled with disappointment. Being single with peace of mind is way better than having a relationship with someone who makes your life miserable. Sometimes you just have to say no and ignore the guilt trip that follows. Often, the right thing and the hardest thing are the same. What you do today can improve all your tomorrows. Sometimes in life, your situation will keep repeating itself until you learn your lesson. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. It doesn't matter if you're right sometimes. The people you hang around will shape your life in more ways than you know. Sometimes there's no right decision to make. In those cases, first you make a decision and then you work to make it right. The greatest mistake you can make in life is to be continually fearing you will make one. Learn to be content and happy by yourself. If you need a company to be happy, then it will make you weak. You're not responsible for what other people expect from you. Not every thought needs to be expressed. There are things in life we don't want to happen, but have to accept. Things we don't want to know, but have to learn, and people we can't live without, but have to let go. No matter who tries to teach you lessons about life, you won't understand it until you go through it on your own. You can start your life over any time you want. You can start being the person you actually want to be today, right now. The people who ask the most from you are the people who do the least for you. Never sacrifice these three things: your family, your heart, or your dignity. Always look at where you're going, not where you've been. Sometimes it's not the people who change, it's the mask that falls off. Show respect even to people who don't deserve it, not as a reflection of their character, but as a reflection of yours. When you find no solution to a problem, it's probably not a problem to be solved, but rather a truth to be accepted. Nothing ever goes away until it teaches us what we need to know. Don't make permanent decisions on temporary emotions. Sometimes it's best just to cut people off, no matter how hard it is. Some people just aren't worth the effort. To understand a person's character, don't just look at their action, observe their reaction. It is harder to fake a reaction. The way people treat you is a reflection of their character, not yours. Mistakes are proof that you're trying. Love is not enough to make a happy, lasting relationship. Being open and unafraid to communicate is vastly important, even if it's a difficult conversation. Everything in life teaches you a lesson. You just have to be willing to learn. The measure of a man is the way he bears up under misfortune. If you put them on a pedestal, they will have no choice but to look down on you. Each pain makes you more strong, each betrayal more intelligent, every disappointment more skillful, and each experience more wise. When you get married, everything good about your relationship and everything bad about your relationship intensifies. You teach people how to treat you. Things rarely change for the better in your life unless you change them. If a man thinks of sex too often, it is a sign that he has an imbalance within, a seeking of harmony, and a longing for contentment in the realm of thoughts and desires. Sometimes it's a blessing to not get what you want. The more you like yourself, the less you'll need others. And just because you're good at keeping other people's secrets, it doesn't mean that they will do the same for you. Life is like a book. Some chapters are sad, some are happy, but all are necessary for the full story. Learn how to change a flat tire on your vehicle. If you don't value your time, neither will others. The strongest people are not those who show strength in front of us, but those who fight battles we know nothing about. The pain you feel today will be the strength you feel tomorrow. Turn your wounds into wisdom. When writing the story of your life, don't let anyone else hold the pen. Don't put off important medical checkups. Practice self-compassion. We are all human, and everyone makes mistakes. Time heals almost everything. Give it time. A good laugh and a long sleep are the two best cures for anything. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for your peace of mind. Sometimes we're tested not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. The calmer you are, the clearer you think. Learn to cook a few basic dishes. It's a valuable life skill. Patience is power. Sometimes you have to let go of something good to make room for something better. Never tolerate disrespect, not even from yourself. Listen more than you speak, for wisdom often comes from silence. Create and stick to a personal budget. What other people think of you is none of your business. Kindness is a language that the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but gets you nowhere. You can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one. The best view comes after the hardest climb. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, "I will try again tomorrow." Never lose your sense of humor. Laughter is the best medicine for the soul. You'll never find a rainbow if you're looking down. Always pay off your credit card debt. It'll save you trouble later. The best revenge is massive success. The more you give, the more you receive. The heart that shares is the heart that's full. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. The most valuable currency is not money, but time. Spend it wisely. A ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are for. The way you treat others reflects who you are, not who they are. It's not about having what you want, but wanting what you have. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take it and make it perfect. Believe in yourself, and the rest will fall into place. Don't be afraid to take risks and try new things. Life's too short to always play it safe. Always take responsibility for your actions, for it is the mark of a mature individual. Take a deep breath. It's just a bad day, not a bad life. Don't say someday, say now, for someday may never come. Donate to charity. Small acts change lives. A person who doesn't make mistakes doesn't make anything at all. You cannot change the direction of the wind, but you can adjust your sails to reach your destination. The only constant in life is change. Embrace it and you'll grow. Say please and thank you often. You can't change the past, but can shape your future by learning from it. The heaviest burden we carry is the weight of our expectations. It's better to be alone than in bad company. When you stop chasing the wrong things, the right ones catch up. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. The best way to gain self-confidence is to do what you are afraid to do. A river cuts through rock not because of its power, but because of its persistence. There is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. The greatest risk is not taking one. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future, it is something you design for the present. Your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. You are confined only by the walls you build yourself. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. Take time to enjoy life's simple pleasures. It's in these moments that we often find the most joy. Give without expecting anything in return. The only time you should ever look back is to see how far you've come. You cannot have a positive life and a negative mind. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. In the face of adversity, remember that diamonds are made under pressure. If you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit. Do not let the shadows of your past darken the doorstep of your future. Do not postpone joy for the sake of the future. The morrow is promised to no one. The first step to getting anywhere is deciding you're not willing to stay where you are. Stop wasting time on women. Don't chase women. Instead, focus on your growth, values, and cultivating kindness. The right person will find their way to you at the perfect moment, without the need for chasing. Never bend your head. Always hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye. The true test of a man's character is what he does when no one is watching. The more you don't have sex, the less you want it. Spend time with the elderly. Their wisdom and experiences are invaluable. One day or day one, you decide. Learn to earn $10,000 to $53,000 a month editing, just like I do on my YouTube channels. Join our school and get free promotion, monetization guidance and support. Link in bio.